Hello.
Hello, is this Marty?
Yes, it is.
Hey, this is Dustin Wellness from KMSU in Minnesota. How are you?
Cool, man. You ready to do this?
Yeah, if you are ready, I am ready.
Cool, let's do it.
Well, I'll introduce you to my co-host, Ton.
Hi.
Hey there, how you doing?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Glad to have you on the line. Let's go ahead. We just called you all the way over in Japan.
Yes.
Holy smokes. How did you wind up relocating to Japan?
I decided to move here about a little more than 10 years ago, and I just found myself listening to Japanese music all the time. And I said to myself, I should be here playing music, and it was really that simple. I just upped and left, and I've been here ever since.
That's crazy. So then, would you say that the Japanese music, has that influenced you quite a bit and kind of like changed direction a little bit for you at all?
Very much. I mean, Japanese music has influenced me a lot, and I'd like to think that I've influenced Japanese music in some way since I've been here, since I've done so much stuff in music since I've been here. So it's a two-way street, but I definitely fell in love with it before I moved over here.
Yeah, and we want to ask you about the last album you had out, Inferno. It's a very heavy album, and it's also very technical, though, and it kind of seems like sometimes the technical players, you can get kind of dull sounding, I guess, if you're too technical, but somehow you're able to find the balance between that.
Well, if you like it, then I'm happy. That's all that really matters, I really don't think about technicality or whether something is difficult. Sorry, my throat is trash from doing interviews all day. But I don't really think about that. Whatever it takes to get the idea down on tape is what it takes to get, and some things are maybe what someone might consider to be technical or something like that, but it never really crosses my mind at all. I'm just trying to make music that I like, and then if other people like it, then I'm even happier about it.
Well, would you say this is probably your heaviest album as far as solo stuff goes?
Absolutely. It's my heaviest album, period. I mean, it's really I've never really come to this level of heaviness yet. I actually have done some projects like Metal Clone X in Japan that may be considered a little bit heavier than Inferno, but as far as for the most part, Inferno is the heaviest album I've ever done. And how do you define heavy anyway? But I think it's a pretty heavy record.
Yeah, and I know you've been putting out solo stuff since even before you were in Megadeth. I mean, this must be, your 10th, 12th, 13th album, something like that?
It's my 12th one, yeah.
Wow, okay. Well, we want to ask you, obviously you had your own stuff going on before you joined up with the Megadeth, but they were pretty established too before you joined. Really, after you were in the band, I mean, that was really when they kind of exploded. I mean, did you imagine it was going to get to that level, when you were first auditioning for those guys?
No idea at all. I didn't know that, or I had no expectation that that many mainstream people were suddenly going to start listening to heavy music. I was kind of surprised. I'm always surprised by that, I'm always surprised that the mainstream people can accept music that's just so over the top. But you shouldn't underestimate everybody out there. People, they want to rock, man.
Well, yeah, and obviously that first album, Rust in Peace, still, I think, considered the best metal album by a lot of people. Could you sense that maybe you guys were breaking some major ground when you were making that album?
No, I thought it was good. I thought everything was great. I really, really enjoyed it. But didn't really think past that X number of years later people would still be talking about it. Happy about that, of course. I don't really want to keep talking about Megadeth stuff. It's like, it's been a long time since I quit the band, so it's really not really topical right now, if you don't mind.
Oh, no, that's so totally understand.
Cool.
Well, we know that you are gearing up for a tour here. Is this the first, I know it sounds weird, but this is the first time you've actually toured the States just by yourself?
It really is. I did a short tour of the U.S., just the West Coast, in 2003, so I'm not really even counting that because this time I'm doing West Coast, East Coast, Midwest. I'm pretty much hitting the whole country, or or the primary cities of the whole country this time. So I'm calling this my first real U.S. solo tour, and I'm super excited about it. Been talking about it every day for about the last couple of months, and kind of blue in the face when my throat shows it. But yeah, it's a big deal for me. I've been in Japan for a long time, and there have been a lot of people in my home country of America who have been waiting for me to at least play for them once, and go back, and people have been very patient and very cool and very supportive. And of course, there's probably some people who thought that I would never go home and play again, and hopefully I will pleasantly surprise them, and we're making it real, making it a reality. It's something I'm really looking forward to do big time.
And you mentioned being even sort of, or I guess listening to a lot of Japanese music. Is there any bands that you are really digging right now, or any that you're going to bring along with you on the tour?
Not that I'm going to be bringing along, but there are so many cool Japanese bands. There's cool American bands that I like now, too. But, I mean, in Japan, I think metal fans and rock fans should all know about this band called Maximum the Hormone. They're really, really just an exceptional band and extremely heavy. And I even covered one of their songs on an album called Tokyo Jukebox. And I just think they're really great. And, of course, the grandfathers of Japanese metal have to be ex-Japan. And I think everybody should know them. And there's tons and tons of great Japanese bands that not only play metal, but do all kinds of other things. But I would definitely recommend Maximum the Hormone to anybody who's listening to this.
Yeah, and it does seem over there in Japan, some of the stuff, I guess, a little weird, maybe considering the stuff that's normal in the States. I mean, I know baby metal is huge, and just,
right.
A lot of stuff that maybe American fans wouldn't have otherwise delved into, maybe.
Right. Everything, I think there's a much higher expectation for like a surprise factor over here in America. I'm sorry, over here in Japan. So, whereas something like baby metal might look strange in America or Europe, it's absolutely normal in Japan. No one would even think, oh, this is outside the box. It's just a very well done, fantastically orchestrated and well-produced unit, a nice project. It's absolutely a fantastic band. And actually, Baby Metal's guitarist is the guitarist in my solo band.
Oh, okay.
It's a very small world, very incestuous small world. But, yeah, in Japan, a lot of kind of wild and surprising type of things find its way into entertainment over here. I think it goes back to ancient history, really. I mean, if you look at kabuki, it's a very colorful and wild and noisy, exciting kind of art, and I think maybe Kiss back in the 70s was very much in the same tradition of kabuki, with a big flashy show with makeup and colors and a lot of exciting things. So I think the tradition of theatrical music is definitely something that's part of Japan.
Yeah, for sure. And it seems like, just looking at your career over the years, you seem like a guy that doesn't want to just kind of hang out and be complacent. So I'm sure that kind of atmosphere must be really cool to kind of be progressive with that sort of thing.
Boy, you nailed it on the head right there. I mean, it's kind of impossible to be complacent over here if you want to stay in the business. You have to really keep reinventing yourself, which I try to do and I enjoy doing. So, yeah, I mean, that's a really good, I'm going to use that. You can't be complacent.
Well, with that being said, with so many people over there that maybe the fans in the States haven't heard of, do you see yourself maybe collaborating with some of these other bands and putting out some new stuff after the tour?
Yeah, pretty much I'm booked up with stuff to do up until like February of next year. I'm going to finish this tour, and then I have a bunch of shows in Japan, and then have TV responsibilities and things like that. So I don't see any collaborations with people that people in the United States would know. But I'll be doing a big collaboration in October. But I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about it yet. It's not that anybody in America would even know who I'm talking about. But to maybe sum up your question, I'll be doing some collaborations, but whether or not they'll be seen outside of Japan, I'm not sure.
Well, at the very least, it's cool that you're going to be touring the States. As you mentioned, a lot of people maybe thought you went to Japan for good and you wouldn't be back. So it's cool that we're able to see you one last time, at least over here.
Well, hopefully it won't be the last time. That's the whole thing. I'd love to do more and more of it. And so many people have supported me, even though I haven't been able to play in America in a long time. People have been hoping that I play there. And like you said, some people probably thought that I'd never play there. And, it's happening now, so I'm super excited about it.
Awesome. Well, again, Marty, we appreciate you taking some time out for us.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot, Marty.
All right, man. Nice talking to you.
All right, you too. Thanks a lot.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.